Break it in, as they say.
Rough and wild.
Break that bad boy in. Oh, we're back with another episode of the podcast.
Hello, hello.
Happy New Year's. We're doing stuff. We have things to do, places to be.
People to see, all that.
Yep.
Not really that one.
No,
but,
no,
you know.
coronavirus. Coronavirus. But you are starting school soon,
Yep.
Which
Starting
sucks.
tomorrow, yeah.
which sucks. It's a Monday, and you only have like 2 weeks off, not even.
3, yeah. Which is nice, but it went by so fast. Like, the first 2 weeks, I was like, okay, this is great. Last week, I was like, and we're starting school. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like that, the South Park, and it's gone.
What?
Yeah, what? What do you mean it's gone? It's gone. I don't know what to tell you. We gave it out to a loan. That loan went under, and now it's gone. But yeah, so I guess we could just talk about what we've done for the past week or two, because we haven't posted in 2 weeks, I think.
Wow.
Which is weird, because we were usually really good about this, but school and shit is just mad hard, and I have work and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so work's been fine. We started working on our first schedule. We basically put together a year schedule to kind of dictate what we're going to be doing. So it's going to be the first 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So January, February, March are going to be production of TAS's video game parodies, basically. And then from there, with every 2 months, we'll do animators react. So that'll come out on the same month of every second, all the even months basically, and then the midsummer months from May to April to September. That's when we do production on New Age Exorcist, because last year we didn't have enough time for it, and I think that if we spend more time together, and we could just nail it out, the pre-production stuff really early on, because we're doing pretty well with the CAS one right now, the first one working on. We got through the first scene, basically, and that's pretty much, at least a good solid 10 to 20 seconds.
Yeah.
10 to 20 seconds-ish. So that's going on, and then the last couple things are going to be kind of mellowed out. We'll just do, other things here and there, and, kind of hang out. Maybe we'll do some more breakdowns and stuff with...
That'd be fun. Maybe do some playthroughs. That'd be cool.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. We could just we record today of,
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, yeah. And Persona 4, I'll be like, yep, this is fine.
Now, Davis, I'll let you know, I did play it, but I didn't finish it. And all the parts that I did do, I totally forgot.
I honestly don't think anyone would want to finish that game, because it's just so fucking long. I hate modern Final Fantasy games. I tried picking up 15 again for the 20th time, and it was so fucking boring. It's just Jesus Christ, not even fucking Dragon Quest is this long, and Dragon Quest 11 was just a fucking slog just because of the grind.
Yeah, I'll talk about it more when we do the actual playthrough, but a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake is very much it changes from linear path, excellent combat, to open world side mission, and then it goes back and forth between that. Story, linear path story, open world side mission. It goes in between those two, and the open world side mission stuff is cool for the first two, but then it's oh my god. And when you get to that point and you go to do this really cool main mission thing, and then you end up in an open town, you're oh fuck no, and then it's oh, can you help me with this? And I'm
oh, it's just side quest galore. Christ, I hate that.
I mean, it's not too bad. There's the first part's 3, and then and it kind of goes up a little bit each time, but it's worth it. You kind of have to do it.
It's one of those things too where it's I'll hold it a fucking side of salt, because they had the people who made 13 come back and do it, and 13 was a god awful mess. Anything after 10 was shit. Yeah. Especially with they had to reboot the online one too, which is just Final Fantasy has gone down the fucking drain. I swear to God, it's god awful.
I do like the combat in the new one. It looks pretty good, and the style they're going for is interesting.
See, when I looked at playthroughs of Oni and stuff when he did the live stream and stuff, the combat looks like it's a mixture between Kingdom Hearts and turn-based combat, which shouldn't work out, because one, they did that with the fucking Chain of Memories remake. They did that. Square Enix is yeah, we'll do card-based combat and try to match it with hack and slash. That doesn't work. I don't understand what went through their fucking minds of oh, time just slows down. I'm no, if you want to do that, you need to make the magic and like the limit breakers a risk, and that's what Kingdom Hearts does well. Is that anytime you want to use magic, you physically have to sort of like slow down and stop, or like you could keep moving on because like in 3, there's a combat mechanic where it's like, oh, while you run, you just hold it down and then it'll just do the magic for you, and you kind of like glide across the ground in the path that you're going on, which is fine. It's a better mechanic for what I think that Final Fantasy has, because like it's just kind of constant like, okay, you want to do the hack and slash gameplay, but you also want to make it slow enough to like bring back like, oh, it's turn based. I'm like, those two things don't really mix well, and I don't understand how you're trying to do that. And I do think like I think the better Final Fantasy game was actually one of the side games, which is like the Final Fantasy Memories one, where it's like Square Enix is like, yeah, we're going back to turn-based combat, and like you basically do everything that we did in old games. I'm like, this is so much better than the actual physical releases of the mainline series. Like, what happened?
I think it's very subjective when it comes to that, but I do think that mixing the two is a much more difficult thing rather than just going one side or the other. For instance, if they decide to go full action game, which like this new one looks to be more of that. It doesn't look to be that. It's like Final Fantasy.
They should have just done the Kingdom Hearts method then.
Yeah, I mean, like they're looking to be more like that, and sort of like Devil May Cry, X Bayonetta kind of stuff like that, where it's
no, that's a soul beat 'em up though. That's like
yeah, well,
that's different because you get a score on that, and like there's not really a score for this. Like
yeah, no, I mean like certain boss stuff like.
You're not being rewarded for combos, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you don't reward for like as a beat 'em up for the combos, then what's the point?
Right. No, I'm saying like more of like character action sort of thing. When I'm being like, you do combos, you do flashy stuff, but I'm saying it's like you have to be more tactical with it. Like unlike Devil May Cry and stuff. Whereas like Final Fantasy VII Remake, it's very much similar. Like they try to do the mix of the thing where like you have to, you can if you want to. Go into the what's it called? What was it? The gauge system. I forgot the name.
Slow
of it.
down, your limit breaker or whatever.
Yeah, the LBGT. I don't know.
Your RGB, just bacon tomato sandwich.
Yes, exactly. And you kind of have like a interesting mix there where you can slow down time and kind of think your through, or you can hotkey it and then just like hotkey your moves to certain buttons. And you could just go like fast, quick pace.
Yeah, see, then that's what Kingdom Hearts does basically with like the shortcut menus. Like, okay, you choose the ones you want to use, and then if you want to use something else, you have to scroll through the side menus, and that's the risk you have to take.
And you could do both. I mean, if the combat's getting too fucking nuts and you need to know what's going on, you can hit that button. But obviously, it's the same thing. Everything's just slowed. It's not stopped. Which is kind of annoying because if like an enemy's like
it's
coming
attacking
at you,
it's going to attack you. And it's going to interrupt your action. So it's like why do this?
Yeah, and it's like I guess it's like it's sort of a small risk thing, but it's not really. I mean, like you're just gonna get hit no matter what, and all you can really do is like, okay, if I'm gonna get hit, Barrett's got to get ready. Oh wait, Barrett's gonna get hit. I can't fucking do anything, and then some of it's kind of bullshit. Like
what the fuck? What is this? Why does it look like Vegas?
Why does it look like shit? No, actually, the game looks really good, but. Combat was fun for me. I definitely like some parts weren't very clear on what I was supposed to do in certain fights, but most of it was like, okay, I gotta hit character with this and that, and I'll, when we go into the actual game, I'll kind of talk more about that. But it was definitely fun. I liked it a lot. But
I don't know. It's not fun. I just don't think like the story. It's just too long of a game.
Because
I want to play in Digimon Cyber Sleuth. I beat the first game within 24 hours.
There were some parts that definitely dragged. There were some parts that were really good. Like there's gonna be a bit with Jesse Briggs and
they flesh out the characters and like you kind of don't want to do that, but it's cool to see.
Yeah,
but it's not the time.
It's definitely like different, and I definitely do like some editions, but there were a lot of editions that I was like, why the fuck is this here? Why aren't we just focusing on the combat? Why do we need to do this? There were like, there were some fun mini games like Cloud does. It's very cute.
The dance game. Yeah, I saw that one. That one looks fun. I like DDR and like the Hatsune Miku ones.
But there are but I'll definitely talk about this more, and it makes me fucking so angry. Whoever decided it was a good idea to have fucking the characters go through these small spaces and have a fucking forced little mini cutscene as they go like
the loading trick.
fucking
That's the age-old loading trick, Charlie.
hate it.
What are you talking about?
It's so dumb. There's so many of them. You'll realize when
It's
we
such a
start
big
playing.
game. They have to load and deload everything. It's fucking stupid.
Yet they have a fucking JPEG on the backgrounds when you're fucking it's whatever. I don't want. It's certainly annoying. It gets to a point where I'm like, they can't just like have it like and just it's they try to do different things. To summarize, they try to do a lot of different things, and some of them it's a mixed bag.
Ugh,
But it's definitely got some good parts and definitely outshine the bad ones.
that's fair. I really do think that they should have just stuck with 15's combat, because I enjoyed 15's combat because it's more hack and slash. I do think that they should have stuck with that because it was just way better mechanically than all the other ones. But it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, oh, you have like the slowdown time, like what we said before. If you go in a line right and the enemy's still attacking, you're still going to get hit, and your things are going to interrupt it, and you have to do it again. So it's like, why would you do that? There needs to be priorities. Nomura. Did they get Nomura back to do this game?
Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah. But I will say, like, there are options to combat, which is nice. I mean, like I said, you can do the hotkeys thing and don't have to really do it. But there are times when you might want to slow down, just in case. Like, you want to put yourself in a good position to slow down and kind of look at everything. But, yeah. I've been playing, in terms of other games, because we're going to be talking about it. Pokemon.
You've been playing with Pokemon, and you've beat it yet or no?
No, not yet. I've just been trying to, collect the full decks and all that.
Well, you have to beat the game to do that though. It's one of those things where it's like unless you're trading, you're gonna have to wander through the actual routes to find newer Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, the raid battles like actually let you catch like Pokemon that you have never caught before or.
Oh yeah. But like those like dens are locked into certain Pokemon though, so they only have a certain rotation. Like if you want to find like a Frostmoth or like something else, you have to actually involve a Snom.
Yeah, you're right. But like, it's still like I've been enjoying the game somewhat. But the reason why is because I've been just trying to get my team ready to go. Basically, just get them all up to level 100 and just steamroll the rest of the fucking game. By the way, my new favorite Phalanx is just
Phalanx, yeah, the Spartan Pokemon.
Yeah, I love him so much.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's so cute.
That's a good design right there.
Yeah, that's a solid design.
I'll say this: when looking at both Pokemon and for Digimon designs, I'm like, this Digimon's obviously catering to like the male audience, just because of the amount of like guns and like missiles they have shot, which is really stupid. But like you can definitely see like the American comic like heavy metal references in there. It's really awesome. But like, with Pokemon, it's more like the cutesy aesthetic.
Yeah, and they're definitely more varied. I think Pokemon. Like I was thinking, I saw like in my Steam library, I saw Temtem, and I was like, I played that for a while. That was fun.
I don't know about that. I think Pokemon's very consistent with a certain style, but with like how a Pokemon look. But I do think Digimon has like more variants of like actual characters though.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I have not played a lot of Digimon, nor have I seen.
We should play it because it is quite a lot of fun. It's like if you ever play Fire Emblem, right? It uses the same little weapon triangle kind of thing, like a rock paper scissors kind of thing. Oh, okay. But like, there's just more to it, especially like there's more mechanics to it because like you could evolve and de-evolve, and that plays a lot into like what kind of evolution you could get later on.
That's cool. I like that. And like with Pokemon, it's always like they kind of do
very linear.
Yeah, it's very linear, and they try to do like new things per game. Like they try to do little things.
There's a gimmick to it. Yeah,
new gimmick, and this one was Dynamax, and Dynamax is cool. I like the fact that you have only a certain amount of turns you could do this.
It fixes the Mega Evolution problem.
Yeah, and I definitely think that it's fun. But it's like the game has become nothing.
It's too easy for you.
All I have to do is just stay in the wild area, bring my Pokemon up to level 100, and like that won't even take that long because you get so much XP stuff. Mm-hmm. Right now I got a Hydreigon, and I've just kind of been bringing that to 100.
Yeah,
I love like I was like, oh cool, I never heard of a Hydreigon before. I'm like, oh shit, it's a dark dragon.
It's Gen 5, yeah.
That's cool. I like it a lot. But yeah, Phalanx is cool. I was, obviously I got Corviknight and my boy Cinderace up to 100, and Cinderace is like, meh, I mean, like look wise he's okay, but it's whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah, overall, I've been liking Pokemon, and then I've been playing a lot of Subnautica.
Oh yeah, how's that? Is that fun?
For someone who has that, and hopefully I say this right, that's thalassophobia.
Fear of the ocean.
Fear of the ocean. It's,
Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I have the fear of the ocean, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
I know, it's kind of therapeutic. It's a little therapeutic. I will say, like, starting from the game from start, I was shitting myself because I was like, this is the scary.
Well, yeah, because everything's so scary, but when you get like the submarine and stuff, like you're fine.
But yeah, once you get the base building tool, the game becomes a lot less scary.
Yeah.
Or like once you get the sea glide thing and you can run away from literally almost everything, it becomes a lot less terrifying. Because now like you don't have to worry about being caught, and like I will say the game looks very nice. You know, it obviously doesn't look like a AAA title, but the style of it and like how the world, like the design they chose.
It's like
for this
Rust,
game,
but better.
yes, the choices they made for this game were very solid. I love the fact that it's like an open sea world and there's different environments and it's an alien thing, so you can get different types of creatures that you've never seen before. I like that a lot. And the base building's actually really solid. I actually have been
I think that's one of the main mechanics they try to focus on is the base building because that's what you're going to be doing most of the time.
Yeah.
Searching for resources.
Yeah, and you know, once I haven't really moved from the starting area at all because I know for a fact that if I go into a deeper spot, I'm gonna have a heart attack. So,
Oh yeah, because like there's like the underwater volcano area, and then you got
there's
all
like
this
just
stuff.
the moment I go out from like a seaweed forest or like a coral reef, and I go into like a big open ocean area,
You just feel like a great white shark's gonna come up and
my
kill
heart drops so fast. I'm like, okay, there's probably gonna be something big that
Yeah.
spawns here. I don't want to be here.
That's me in horror games. I don't like playing horror games. It's one of the worst things.
Dude, so I know you know about the Reaper Leviathan in the game or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
the weird looking thing. I know for a fact I know where they spawn. I know exactly where but
What
I
to
had
avoid.
yeah, but I had to go there at one point to look at something, and the moment I hear it and I see it in the distance, I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
I will not do that.
That'd be fun if they added multiplayer support for that one.
I thought they did. I guess not.
I don't think they did. I don't think Subnautica has multiplayer support because it's a very solo journey. You know.
Yeah, I do like the fact that there is a story though. That's cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. Where it's like as a survival like thing. It's like, why would you want to have like a story inside of it? Realistically,
Well-
to have like a beginning and end. Like you want to have a beginning, but like you can just kind of have like a trail on.
Yeah.
Because like,
But then again, you get bored of the game, and I feel like it would be like you could still do whatever.
yeah,
Like,
if you want to complete it, you can complete it. I
Yeah.
guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can come back to it whenever.
100% achievement or whatever.
But, yeah, it's nice. I like that. I like that there's a finality that you can have if you want to do it. That's cool. But you know, it's pretty much up to you. Same with the Isle. I think also had that kind of thing where like there's a finish if you want it, but you don't have to necessarily.
Oh yeah.
But
I feel like games that have endings like need to nail it or like it's kind of a flat point.
oh, that's everything. I mean, that's like in movies and everything. If the ending sucks, then the whole movie up to that point is kind of like kind of sours it. Like with Wonder Woman, if the ending sucks, then everything kind of
Oh,
leading
did
up
you
to
see
that.
Wonder Woman?
I haven't seen the new one.
No.
I've only seen the.
It's
first
okay. I think Pedro Pascal does look like Trump, but he carries it.
one. Yeah, I heard a lot of people say it's fucking terrible, but I'm like, I didn't see it, so I can't.
It's
really-
not bad, but it's not great either. It's just like mediocre. It's low mediocre. It's just like kind of.
It's disappointing.
It's an airplane movie. That's what that's the easiest way to explain something. If it's like mediocre, but it's like you need to see it. It's an airplane movie.
That's fair. Okay, that makes sense to me. And yeah, I guess it's why people don't like it as much. It's probably because it's hyped up a lot, and it's probably just a general disappointment.
Yeah.
I guess. Same with Cyberpunk, am I right?
Yep. Cyberpunk 20 melt my fucking computer. Why don't you? That's the one thing I don't think they did correctly with that game is that they optimized it for the new gen systems when actuality that's like the reverse thing you should do. You should always start with the lowest end systems possible. Optimize that, and then from there you can just upscale and like, do everything else. Like I don't understand like what their TG Project Red was thinking.
They probably originally were planning on doing it on next gen, but the guys who made it were like, well, we should probably do it for.
It's also one of those times where it's like all the people who needed to get next gen can't get next gen because of scalpers.
Well, yeah, and it's like super expensive, and I get it, and like it's hard now because now they're bringing up the prices for games to like $70. I'm like, fuck me.
Yeah, no, I'm sticking with PC. Come
Yeah,
on.
thanks. No.
Speaking of PCs, we need to build new ones for the studio for workstations.
yeah,
Because what I'm thinking, right, if Because I gave you my old computer. It was with like DDR3, 32 gigs of RAM though, which is still pretty fine.
That's right.
It's just that I think your graphics card is just really old. Because I don't think I spent a lot on that one when I made my little miniature PC.
Yeah.
I think I got like a 1060, and I was like, that's it, because I don't need much for it. Because I'd rather spend the CPU and RAM. But yeah, so we need to build new computers for that. Maybe if we do a video on it, we can write off like an expense. But like, yeah,
we'll have a goal. We'll
yeah. I'm gonna start ordering parts within February when the next paycheck comes in, or starting in February. I'll start ordering parts, and then I'll put together my machine, and then we'll see if you want to do the same build out, because it's gonna be the same. Because what I'm planning to do is that I don't need my 1080 and 2080 inside the same machine. I could put that one downstairs, and like we could record gameplay downstairs on the larger TV, because I think that'd be much better than playing my own little 25-inch Samsung.
Right, exactly.
Obviously, so like I think we'll do that, and then I'm gonna go with a nice sleek modern build. So I'll have like an NXT case and like the NXT Kraken stuff. So it's like it's
nice.
There. I can finally put it up on my
not like a fucking not like a PS5 where it's just like woo.
That's one thing though, is like those things are like made for like. It's made weirdly because like there's only one big fan inside that system, and it's like the size of like this fan inside here.
Yeah,
which is like probably like a 36 millimeter.
The cooling system is fucking
it's a 36 millimeter
yeah.
weird fan that they put in there just because like they don't want it to overheat, so like they increase the size for the fan. I'm like, maybe just instead of that, put multiple fans in.
Yeah,
like normal people do.
But they're like, no, we gotta make it look like Kaiba from fucking Yu-Gi-Oh. But whatever.
Yugi, I need you to thaw. Okay. So I was playing Monster Hunter the demo with my friend, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I chose the Great Sword Hunter, and he just sounds like the fucking Jeff impression that Oni does. He's like, "All right, let's go, yeah." And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is this voice actor? I'm like, I'm happy they're doing like actual like real voice acting in lines, but I'm like, oh Christ, what is this?
How was Wyvern writing? I saw.
It's a lot of fun. You don't get to do it often, though. I do think
that's good.
The
like
old
that.
mechanic was a lot better, but I think they should have done that, and like you should have the option to like do that, because I do think that without the riding mechanic from the old games, Encyclave is kind of like a moot point.
Yeah, you Encyclave's got fucked.
There's no point playing Encyclave basically except for the power boost and stuff, which is fine. But I do think I might switch back to like Switch Axe, or go back to Gun Lance.
Yo, Gun Lance, did you see that in trailer where they like fucking launched himself?
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't show that in the fucking weapons thing, so I'm assuming there are other things.
Oh yeah, when you go through your like settings and stuff, there's like a combat guide they don't tell you about. There's a bunch of combos you can do that. It'll show you combos.
That's cool.
And then you could do it on your own and work on it.
Yeah, Gun Lance looks really good, and fucking Hunting Horn looks amazing now.
Oh yeah, everyone always underestimates the Hunting Horn. It's a big joke inside the Monster Hunter community, but like support is very necessary. I'll say this: like if someone doesn't want to run Hunting Horn in one group, I'll be the Hunting Horn, because like people only use like a couple of horns, because like there's only like a couple good ones overall. And, like, it's just like, okay, yeah, you use the health boost, stat boost, like, earplugs or whatever, and, like, you kind of, like, it's like a support made for, like, whatever monster you're hunting.
See, now, I always wanted to main Hunting Horn, but then I found Hammer, and then I was just kind of like...
Hammer is fun, I just don't, it's just, like, a lot of dedication. Same with Greatsword, it's like Greatsword, you need a lot of, like, time and dedication.
Big brain
set up
timing,
for it.
yeah.
It's just, without the other weapons, like, they're not really that fast-paced, and I think that's the main drawback, is that you have to be ready, like, you need to, in order to play Greatsword and, like, Hammer effectively, you need other people.
Well, no, you can do it on your own, but you just have to do it over and over and over again.
And that's what I'm saying, it's just easier to do it with other people in a way to, like, say, like, yep, this is pretty much just, like, yeah, you bring him over here. You chop that tail off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. But you can learn like tips and tricks that'll make it really effective. For instance, with a hammer, it's like you can move, and you can, if there's a slope or a wall you can climb, you can run up. Like you're fucking 10 times more powerful.
Yeah, but the areas are really wide open though, so there's not a lot of chance for that.
Just gotta bring him on over. Just bring him on over, Davis.
I don't think there's gonna be a lot of chance for that though, because it's just like
with the wire bugs now, it'll be a lot better too, because you see in like the trailer, like
you only
swords,
get
you can fucking.
Well, that's the thing though. It's kind of weird because like you only could use the back bumper and the A button to move forward with the great sword, and like with like with like the weapon, like the long range weapon stuff, you can't do that with wire bugs. So it's like, I think a lot of people are going to stop playing those weapons to jump over to other ones because of the sheer fact that they don't have that much wire bug support.
One weapon I definitely want to try out is Lance, because that tether thing that they showed was really cool. I like the fact that you can kind of like just strap yourself to the monster and you can like just kind of
yeah. You're basically kind of like the sort of tank slash like
aggro. Yeah, I like that. I'm down for that. But in terms of other weapons, like I mean, they look cool. Every weapon looks cool. Like, you know, they're all doing it. Insect Glaive, sorry, but Insect Glaive kind of got fucked. But I don't like. I'm not a long range kind of guy. I don't think after all this time playing it, I've come to determine that I'm never gonna really play bowgun or bow.
Yeah, I always say some of the armors from the demos are really nice and like they look really well done.
Yeah,
and I do think World should have learned from that. Like, even though it's like
they got it at the end. But
no, I really do think that they're supposed to like cater to like the Western market. I'm like, yeah, but you kind of drop off everyone else who kind of was with the series just in order to bring new people in, even though you're going back to the Switch hardware.
Yeah.
Even though like the game looks pretty good, I'll say this: like overall, that game looks fucking fantastic.
It does, and I can't wait to see like, and this is just on Switch obviously, and if they ever decide to just put it on more solid hardware.
No, never.
No, I realize
it's just Capcom we're talking about.
That's right, yeah. Okay.
We're talking about the people who make Mega Man.
Megadis Menace.
They're never gonna do it. You kidding me? They're never gonna put it on like actual like decent hardware.
Yeah, you're right.
Because Monster Hunter is very mobile. That's why it was beginning. Like even though it would start on the PlayStation, right? Mm-hmm. It went mobile really quickly with PSP, and a lot of people started with PSP, and a lot of people enjoyed it because of the mobility and like the ability to play with others, like in local Wi-Fi and like local networks. Yeah. It makes it a lot easier for like your train commutes or whatever.
You're right. But otherwise, games. What about you? Have any other games? Like
the Digimon games. I finished the first one, started the second one. Second one's a lot better just because it's like they've learned from their mistakes. It's a lot less wordy and definitely gets into the action at first. I think if we're gonna do a playthrough, we do the playthrough of the second game.
Gotcha.
Because like there's no point of playing the first.
Fair enough.
I bought Persona 4. I haven't started playing yet because like I want to go through the Digimon one the two Digimon ones first, and like I was just like, I played 5. This is gonna be like a severe downgrade in the end. But like, if I want to play Persona, I would just play the Digimon game because it's basically the exact same mechanics. So
okay,
it's just a JRPG. It's nothing more, nothing less.
Sure, I'm down for that. Want to talk about movies and TV?
Yeah, so it's been kind of dry with the anime because like nothing's been uploaded. Like everything's been off on week because it's Christmas. Yeah, because of the week of New Year.
I'm waiting for Jujutsu Kaisen.
They gave everyone like a 2-week vacation basically.
Yeah,
and then they start production again probably like the week of, and then
you gotta give them time, man. You gotta give them a vacation. That's fine. Can't expect more from those people. It's fine.
Other than that, there's nothing really major going on with animation. Did I talk about the Tom and Jerry movie, the 3D CG Tom and Jerry movie?
Yeah.
Fucking Christ! I was just like, it looks okay. It just doesn't feel well blended. It's trying to do that sort of Who Framed Roger Rabbit with new technology, but the new technology kind of hinders it.
Yeah.
It kind of feels
it looks kind of.
It feels like they layered it over it, and it's not like it's like the common complaint I see about CG. Honestly, it's like they kind of like it's layered over, and they're not looking well enough.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in well.
Yeah, it's like if you try to do that with studio, you need to get the lighting right. I think that they're using a really shitty lighting engine for the trailer. But that's the trailer, though. I'm not sure if that's going to be the main like actual final render of the film. Just because look at the Sonic film, that like a bunch of the trailers, even though it had the shitty model, those weren't the final scenes inside the thing because the other edits that went on.
Right. Now recent movies that I've seen, I saw 2. I saw Pinocchio for the first time. Spoiler, I never saw it.
Oh, the live action one?
No, the Disney.
Oh, the Disney one.
The original Disney, yeah. Fucking disturbing. Just wanted to say that right now. Terrifying. And then I saw Tintin, The Adventures of Tintin.
Oh, that was surprisingly well done. That was
amazing.
It was really well done. I'll say this. It's because I think it's just such an old property. No one really batted an eye at it. Cause, like, It's like it's a European property.
It's
so
a
like
fucking sleeper hit.
It's something that Americans wouldn't watch just because they didn't grow up with it.
So when I saw it last night with my folks and my brother, I was like almost amazed that it came out. This came out like 2011, and I saw it again. I was like, "Geez, this is amazing."
Tintin and Captain Ahab.
Yeah, it was incredible. Like there was so much like transitional, like from animation wise, like it was mostly mocap. I think they just like had everything.
They just touched upon a couple things here and there.
Yeah,
but
yeah. But the transition, speaking wise, like there were some awesome transitions, like where you would like start out like on guys on a boat and would pan out into like the sea, and then it'd turn to a puddle, and then a guy would step over them, and it would be like it would transition to a London sidewalk, and it's like that's so cool. Like there's so many like great decisions they made. Obviously, it's directed by Steven Spielberg, so he knows his stuff. But it's like, god damn, dude, this was such a beautiful looking movie. And like the intro itself is like so cool because it's all colored and like the characters themselves, like still the 3D models, but they've been like whited out and stuff.
Yeah, it's basically like the old comics and stuff where it's colored. Yeah. I remember that one. I was just like, yeah, it's a decent movie. I enjoyed it, and it's like but the main factor is I probably didn't make enough money just because it's such a European, it's a European property, and that's why I don't think it did well.
Yeah,
because like it's one of those things where it's like things that come across the ocean have like a little 50-50 chance of surviving on television.
Yeah.
The only reason why like anime and like early shit like that did well was because it was marketed towards kids and it's dubbed and localized. That's why it did well, and that's why it's part of like the sort of like Gen Z kind of culture now.
Yeah.
It's just because like those things were handled, for lack of better words, properly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to things like Tintin, which kind of like were European, but like weren't really marketed for properly inside the West, or on the side of the States. Like it didn't necessarily did the best, like overall, but like it was it's a property. Because like if you ask an American, if you know who Tintin is, probably not a lot of people would know who it is. But if you ask like some European fellow who like, oh yeah, I remember Tintin, they had like a comic book and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just looking up like where it came from. It came from France.
Yeah, that's why, because it's Tintin is like it's like something in French.
Tintin in America. Oh boy.
Oh shit, that's
oh Jesus Christ.
Damn.
So yeah, I just looked up Tintin in America just to find out like where it came from. So
you have this Apache chief looking fellow, and
originally speaking, it was in France, I guess. And we just looked at Tintin in America, and there's just like an Apache chief. Ah.
There's an Indian chief with a headdress on, holding up a tomahawk, and they're gonna scalp Tintin. Jesus Christ.
To be fair, though, like, the movie itself actually kind of dark, because there were a lot of moments where people got fucking killed.
Well,
like,
no shit. Cause
people got shot, eaten by sharks. I'm like, this is nuts.
Yeah,
but none of it was bloody or gory.
It's not like a adult, like a mature film. It's like it's just something that makes it's just action.
The stakes are there. Like, it's real. Like, people die, and it's nice that they address that, and it's cool. Like I never realized how like an awesome this movie was, and like pacing wise, it just keeps going, which is great. I love the characters. I love the animation, of course, and the story. Like the main villain himself, while not being the best,
it's okay.
It's okay. Like, it works. It works for what it is. And
it's one of those things where it's like just competing. It's like Indiana Jones, where they're competing for a treasure, basically.
Yeah, it's like
it's not necessarily for like it's the end of the world or anything like that.
No, exactly.
I gotta hate films like that. It's like, oh, they're looking for this thing, but that thing's a key to the destruction, like to the mass weapon of like. Yeah. That's what I hate about Transformers. It's always about this weapon destruction. I'm like, fucking Christ.
Lupin the Third kind of had that problem too. The movie.
Well, yeah, but that's not like a real Lupin movie though.
Yeah.
It's more of just kind of like it's more of like a very like Red Jacket plot where it's like a high action thriller kind of thing. But if you look at like a Green Jacket, Pink Jacket, or Blue Jacket, like those movies, like the TV shows are like better than the movie. I would say.
Yeah, they're more consistent. I agree with you though. Yeah, like I like more what's the word I'm looking for?
It was just easy
low
for
stakes.
them.
Yeah,
it was just easy for them to do that, which is fine because like this is more of a test run of the animation rather than the story. In my opinion, this is more of the Lupin the Third movie was a test of can 2D animation really jump like 2D anime movies jump to 3D in a stylistic way.
It can, but you have to do it right. You can't
Exactly.
You can't pull what I'm looking for. The cop one. I forgot the name, but we saw on the show. Fuck, what was the name of it?
Was it anime?
Yeah, it was anime. It was the one with this. It's like the cops, and it's like cyberpunk-esque. Forgot the name of it. We saw it. It was like shitty CGI, not that great.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell. Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell. Yeah.
Not like Ghost in the Shell.
Like the character designs are really well done and really nice, but like the 3D doesn't really carry over though.
No,
and that's the thing. I do like looking at like all the past ones. I do think a 2D animated one with slight CG elements could do well, but a complete CG anime shouldn't be doing that. I think the best episodes were probably the one where Bato gets caught up in the hostage situation inside the bank, and that was it.
Great character moments like that where it's like, oh, these are just old people.
And that's a weird thing too, because like that was like the thing about the thing was like people complained about. It was like, yeah, like the manga is pretty lighthearted and kind of stuff. It's like those are the kind of moments that like are like kind of Ghost in the Shell, but the other kind of like a plot really fell through just because like it's a movie. That was like a movie cut up into like multiple episodes.
Yeah.
Because you remember, right? Because like you know how it's structured, right? They go to L.A. Horrible rendition of L.A.
Oh my god! Fuck, jeez. It was like it didn't look like L.A. It looked like a third world country.
Well, that was kind of the point, though.
Yeah.
But like, it kind of looked like if GTA allowed building destruction and they didn't care to fix it.
Yeah.
With robot hookers and stuff.
Robot hookers and poles and strip clubs and
Exactly.
But yeah, it was weird. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but
no, I enjoyed like plenty moments of that show, but it's just like, yeah, it just wasn't the greatest.
No, I mean it could have been better, but yeah, it's that, and so yeah, I mean those are the two. I mean, it's like just from a technical level, like Tintin, like remember like the one shot, that one take for that chase. Corridor Crew covered it that one time.
I don't remember. I don't really watch a lot of the 3D animated ones.
They're going after the Falcon, and he's got the like little like papers.
Oh, is that the one with the long bike chase scene?
Yes.
Okay, I remember that one from the
I was
movie.
like, that's fucking woo.
I was like, oh yeah, that's a pretty good shot right there. That's like because that's something you could probably do in animation. Is with that.
Yeah, and it's just like every level, like everyone's moving, everyone's doing that. You could continuously follow. You could read everything, and it's like my brother was like, it's a Whoopi Goldberg machine, basically. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of, it pretty much is.
You're not wrong.
It really, that's like the best way to put it. It's just a really, really long, really fun Whoopi Goldberg machine. But yeah, I mean, I think that's in terms of like movies, is what I've watched. Shows, I'm waiting for Jujutsu Kaisen Core Part 2.
Yeah, because that's the thing that's coming out now. The last 20 something episodes.
Yeah, 13.
Last 13-ish.
That's gonna cover the next full arc. So that's gonna be fun.
Boy.
That's a really good arc, so I'm excited for that. And hopefully the animation keeps up, which I'm sure it will, because MAPPA's gotten a lot of praise.
It's okay. It's one of those things where it's like it's probably not the real MAPPA, and it's who they hire to do it. Because I know I follow like a bunch of them on Twitter. You should do that because I think you should make Twitter just because there's so much people on Twitter where it's like they just post the work of the layouts and the Gengas where it's just like, yeah, you might as well just follow them just to learn.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll do that. I'm gonna show it. Also, hopefully the Twitter doesn't kick me out forever, but we'll see.
For what?
I don't know, because they can do that apparently.
What?
Kick you out of Twitter forever. Or block your account.
Oh yeah, well yeah, because it's their own website. They could do that.
That's true.
It's a privilege to be on the website. If you abuse that privilege, they could easily take it away.
Yeah.
Free speech is not a right; it's a privilege.
That's right. I don't know, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, otherwise shows. That's pretty much what I'm kind of looking for. I saw the opening for I'm a Spider, So What? That is a bold-faced fucking lie. What they showed, because they showed all these human characters. I'm like, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, nah. You thought it was gonna be the actually main protagonist being the part of the show? Nope.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? But then the ending was really. I saw the ending too, and I was like, oh man, this ending kind of slaps. I like it. It's funny because there's a weird trend now where the opening is less of the it's like the opening's like a bold-faced lie, like with Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like fucking Junpei.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, you know, with this one it's the same. And then the ending is like actually like the kick-ass song bit, whereas before it was most of the openings that had the better songs, but maybe I'm just imagining it. I mean, the only series that I remember having both a really good opening and ending was Hunter x Hunter. But, you know, it's hard to find like both being amazing, because some, you know, like, not to say that like a lot of like, oh, not to say like all openings and endings for each anime is like terrible or something like that, but some aren't, you know, equally as good as their opening or ending counterparts. But yeah, shows wise, I haven't really been watching much else.
Yeah, it's very dry this week for
It'll pick up.
TV shows.
But, you know,
I can't do anything about it. I was contemplating going back and watching a bunch of the original or the remake of the Digimon stuff, because that's what they're doing now. I'm like, maybe I'll go watch it, maybe not. They're like 50 episodes in, I think, but like, we'll see.
We'll see about it. I got nothing. I mean, Netflix is always
Dry.
always so vast and full of content that
It's so it's one of those things too. It's like Netflix is kind of falling into the YouTube problem where like there's so much shit on it. It's just like not a lot of people are watching it.
No, yeah. I mean, they've definitely, like, there's some good bits. Like, you know, there's some good diamonds in the rough that you just have to kind of sift out.
But like a lot of it's trash.
A lot
of it's trash.
A lot of live action stuff is mostly trash. There's a good amount of good animation, like Castlevania.
Well, that's different though. That's kind of like hyped up. Like a lot of original works are kind of trash though.
Hilda is another good example. Like, that's just this is a series that's like very hidden away. Like, not a lot of people know it.
No, I think like that's overrated now. I think Hilda is being overrated. Yeah.
Oh man.
I see if I see people talking about it on Twitter, I know it's getting up and it's
oh really
popularity is there. I don't fucking understand. It's just like if it gets onto Twitter, there's some sort of following for it, and it's like, okay, I'll check it out, but like I'm not gonna like get invested.
Fair enough, but yeah, I mean, otherwise, like, animation, there's some good animation bits. Like, DreamWorks has some good stuff, but it's kind of like after a while you're just kind of like, okay, this plot should have ended like 3 seasons ago. You didn't need to drag it out like a total of 8 seasons. This could have been done in like 5.
I know, it's like make me care in like 10 words or less.
Essentially Voltron.
Exactly, right?
Voltron should have been like 3 seasons.
It should have ended like after the second season, in my opinion. I think the second season was like kind of the pinnacle.
Yeah, it was really good for like that first couple, but then it just like kept going, and I stopped caring after like a while, and I'm like,
exactly, it's one of those things where it's like you need to understand, you need to find a place where it ends.
And not to say that it isn't bad, like the DreamWorks does, like, this is the same DreamWorks problem. They come out with a great idea for something, but then they drag it out way too long.
No, they move people away from that project to do other projects, and then the B team takes over and they fuck it up.
Yes, yeah, that's a pretty apt comparison. Oh god, it's so fucking annoying sometimes, but I love them all the same. I mean, they do great work.
I feel like that the first Digimon games like actually a pretty good example of like knowing where a story begins and ends, but have a mystery in between.
Yeah,
because there are a lot of plot twists inside that game that I was like, oh, that's a really neat plot twist and a really cool character design. That's different. When I got to the end, right, I was kind of very sad. Because they kind of do that little Pokemon thing with the Hall of Fame, where it's like, oh, they show you your Pokemon at the end, like, yeah, you did this, like the end of like Emerald, it catches all the Pokemon you caught. At the end of the Digimon one, though, they kind of get it's more sentimental, just because like not the Digimon that actually I did use were actually the Digimon that I raised, basically, and that's a lot more impactful. Because, like, you do start from the basic evolution, and you raise them up to, like, be, like, these fucking monsters of weapons. And just, like, the ending is just, like, yeah. So, basically, at the end of that game, it's just, like, yeah, you technically died just because you strained your body too much.
Oh, wow.
Because you had a cyber body, because your real body doesn't, fell into a coma. So, your cyber body got strained too much, and you kind of dissipated into the air. but through the power of your Digimon and through friendship, you get put together again. It's a really sentimental thing, and I do think that the track for that is really well done.
Okay.
But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, this is something that like, I did this, I accomplished something today.
I like that.
I do kind
Power
of
friendship.
I know, and I do kind of like hate people who say like, "Oh, Digimon's just a copy of Pokemon." It really wasn't. It was just the anime
I have
only
to
came
really
up.
experience it more to.
Yeah, because
get a full
the anime
appreciation
only
of it.
came about to sell the Tamagotchi version of it. There was not really a video game or card game. It was just like, and apparently it just did well, and that's the thing. Like it just did well. So it's just kind of like, as a competitor to Pokemon, I do think Digimon has like leg up, because like it's one of those things too, where it's like the anime really went like uncensored in like the terms of story. There's very like deep moments, like two characters have divorced parents, and like that's why they don't see each other that much, and that's why like, oh, they have actual family problems. Like you don't see that in Pokemon.
But Davis, they never compare to the true king of '90s games, Bakugan.
Bakugan was in the 90s. It was 2000 thing.
Bakugan conquers all, Davis.
Bakugan was a 2000s thing.
Listen, Davis, you don't understand. the
Charlie,
power of
get your
Bak-
dates right. Come on.
Oh, please. It probably was 2000.
It was 2000s, and then they recently rebooted it on Netflix, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. The characters look really generic, and that's the downside of it. I
None
really
of them
hate.
ever conquer the true king, Beyblade.
Beyblade was fun. I'll say that. Beyblade was a fucking fantastic show, but it kind of fell flat with the toys and games, because there was no way to transfer that feeling from like the anime and toys into like a digital
Summon
game.
a fucking they summon a fucking dragon in the show when he fucking spins his stupid top, and I do it in real life. It's like, oh,
Tink, tink, tink.
At least like fucking yeah, exactly. That's literally all it is.
I have 2 glass bottles right now from like drinks and stuff. I'm just clinking
And
together.
like I remember when I was a kid, and I like tried to find out the right like combination
of
to
like
make
parts
to make the most ultimate.
And
badass.
that's the thing. That's the thing, though. That's the part of the gimmick of like you need to find parts. But like they didn't sell them in parts. They sold them as actual physical, like
Yeah.
made in one thing. So like you had to buy parts. You couldn't buy parts separately, so you had to buy constantly more tops, deassemble, and then reassemble.
And then you found out that the lower your top is, probably the better it works out overall. And then it's
yeah,
just
because
like
of the way physics work.
yeah, physics. And, like if you actually know physics, like you're like 10 times better. I remember like I started up this is a long time ago, but like my friend and I started up a Beyblade club at the Boys and Girls Club.
I thought you were gonna say Beyblade Club at high school. I was like, oh, I didn't know you did that.
No.
You ever see those
We
videos
were
of like,
young
the kids
when we
doing
did
the kids of playing Beyblades inside the student union or whatever?
No.
Or whatever. It's so fucking funny.
It's fun though, and to be fair, like it was fun at the time. And like when you got the rubber one, the rubber bottom, it was
the
like
attack one,
whoa!
yeah.
It was like whoa! That was
Not gonna lie, I kind of want to play with Beyblades.
yeah, man, they're fun. They're more fucking engaging than fucking Bakugan. Bakugan
right?
is like a ball. That's it.
Well, the thing about that is that you roll it, and
Yeah,
then
it
they
pops
would
up.
they would pop up, and,
And
then
then that would be it. Yeah.
It's a neat gimmick, but it's not like a gimmick that stayed strong.
Yeah. No. I mean, like, and then and then someone just brought up Pokemon and be like, oh fuck Pokemon, and that'd be it.
Yeah, Pokemon is like the supreme king of like trading cards.
It is.
But Digimon recently had its resurgence of like actual people playing the game again because of the anime.
But then I was a
being rebooted.
weird weirdo because I just like Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I was
Yeah. I was a Yu-Gi-Oh kid. I didn't like I had Pokemon. I had Pokemon cards, and I still do. I open
I
Pokemon cards
transitioned
right
from
now.
bit to bit, you know.
Yeah.
I just kind
But it's
of.
one of those things where it's like I get more enjoyment out of having more fun with like Yu-Gi-Oh because it's a lot more people playing it on like in certain areas. But like Pokemon is one of those things where it's like, yeah, you'll probably get like a decent age range from like kids who are like 20 to 30.
Yeah, I feel so bad for my parents because I know for the fact that like I had them like they had to buy all this stupid shit
For
me.
you and your brother, yeah.
Yeah, and like I get it, and be like, this wasn't as cool as I thought it was. All right, and then I just leave it alone, and then I'm like,
And they're like, what the fuck did I spend money on this for?
I know, and I feel really bad about that. Like, but of course, yes. But Nerf was fun though. Nerf
was always a guarantee, like, fun
Yeah.
time. Every single birthday party until, like, the middle school was a Nerf party.
Yeah, man. Even now, I mean, like, I get the urge to shoot someone in the eye with a Nerf dart, but that's, that's what I just, it's just fun. It's always a solid one. There was like, remember there's always spin-offs of it where like there was like the disc one.
Yeah, the
and then
disc, the
ball.
arrows. Yeah, there was I had a
The
bunch of
arrows
shit.
fucking hurt.
Yeah,
if you cocked
like
that
if
all the
you
way
pulled
back,
it far back enough, that thing hurt. I was literally getting shot with
I
like
shot a girl in the face with it one time when I was at a friend's house. There was like a party or something like that, and we were just kind of chilling in the basement. And I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Oh shit! And
yeah,
like, hit
black
someone.
guy right there.
I'm like, "Oh!" She like hit her right in the fucking forehead. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
It should have been one of those sucking cup ones you just stuck into her head, and it'd be so fucking funny.
It was they're fun. It was always, I remember like all the times I get a new one, I'd be like, "This is so cool!" Bam.
Yeah, so the kid, you just point up in his eye, and
Yeah.
you're that kid. You're that kid who shoots his eye out.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it was cool. It was a fun time, and they weren't getting mistaken for real guns or anything like that.
No, they're colorful enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get shot by the police for that.
And then I found airsoft, and I was like, "This is pretty neat."
Yeah, this is way more fun,
Yeah.
and this actually hurts.
Yeah, it really hurt. But yeah, every time I tried a new one, or it was just. It was fun, but then I didn't really have anybody to play with me because no one else had an airsoft gun or anything like that. And I was
I
like,
think airsoft is one of those very niche things that like rednecks and like low class white people do.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
You know what I mean? You're not wrong. I mean, where is he now? Where is he
I
now?
don't know. He's probably. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Yeah, I think if anything, I would say he'd be in military.
Yeah,
He's a military kid.
I remember a couple. Like I know Zach, Owen. Well, I don't know what Zach's doing nowadays. Owen, I haven't heard from. I haven't heard from like anybody. Maybe because I haven't talked to anybody. I talked to Ben recently. Ben, what? He's a good guy. I have to call him later.
Why is he one of your class? Ben is the one from
not from college.
No.
The one that we know from high school. Glasses, black hair. Forgot his last name. Shit.
If you forgot his last name, it's not important.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I forget who he hung out with other than us. Shit. He was really funny though. I'll have to show you a picture of him later.
But I know you're talking about.
Oh,
He
you
had,
know,
like,
okay.
acting and stuff.
Yeah.
He had acting scars slightly.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He looked like a fat Alex.
Was he fat? Yeah,
He was a fat Alex.
Not really fat, but yeah, he was a more. He wasn't as skinny as Alex.
No, he had puffy lips and like scrunchy back hair.
Mm.
Yeah, he is fat Alex. I don't know how to say that.
Remember-
It is fat Alex.
I remember Francisco. Francisco was great. He was a Pokemon fucking master.
I remember him.
He was like, he knew everything. I had marine biology with him with Tyler, and we just talked about Pokemon and other shit for like majority of marine biology.
Yeah.
In the back of the class, we were just like, yo man, this is fucking sick. And he was like talking about Pokemon and how like different types and stuff. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this is neat. But I'm like, I tried to follow along. I was like, I could not.
No.
And like he was like talking about breeding stuff, and I was like, what? And then I remember one time I did a meme. I like he was playing on his DS or something like that, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Release. And then I'm like, he's like, I just bred that for the past 3 hours. That was the one exactly that I needed. You fucking.
But it wasn't shiny though, so.
And then he's like, this is the exact this is the exact kind of nature I wanted it. You fuck. And I'm like, sorry.
Oh my god.
Felt like such an asshole after that, but I hope we got it.
Anyone who needs to breed Pokemon like that for competitive, like, just don't bother.
Yeah.
There's not the kind of friends you want. You're kind of.
But no, he was a great guy. He was really fun, and had a great time. Senior year was like the best. I love senior year.
We did nothing senior year, obviously.
I know, that's why I loved it.
It's kind of weird because like I got an internship with like the company. I should give them a call to see if they need people to work to do graphic design or whatever.
Where?
At Jornick.
Oh, okay.
It's out in Stanford, but we could work from home basically and just send emails and like, because like the guy that I worked with, Andy, he was basically the tech guy. He was in charge of the interns and stuff. So it's I don't think you don't know anyone other three who worked there, which is kind of weird because it was only supposed to be me originally, but then they kind of like tacked on the other three just because they had space and stuff. Like, hey, can you take on these other three people? And like, yeah, they're like, yeah, sure. But like, I was the only one that was kind of designated specific. Like, yeah, you are graphic design, you do photography, you do this, you have a place here. Other people, paperwork, Paperwork, Excel, that kind of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Part of me, I'll be honest with you. Part of me, like, always wondered, like, what if I just went for a normal everyday job? Just like a 9 to 5 thing. And I was like,
Well, that's what basically I do. It's just like, it's okay. If you make minimum wage, it kind of sucks. But like, if you make like
yeah,
$20 to $30 an hour, then that's kind of fine. Basically, like tutoring. If you tutor full time, that's what you would make $20 an hour.
yeah. I always wondered, like, just having like that kind of thing, just having a stable, like, I do want that stability in life. Like, I obviously love art. That's why I'm doing all of this.
Mm-hmm.
But to have a stable employment, is always refreshing to me. Just because I like being stable. I like being rooted.
That's why you just be self-employed. That's what we're gonna do now, Charlie. This is why we have the studio, because we're self-employed.
Sorry,
We could do tax breaks. We could just like commit tax fraud.
Yes, Davis. Yes. We don't actually mean that. Please do not come after us.
Yeah,
I'm
IRS
sorry.
is not. That's a joke. But that's
It's
one
a
of those
joke,
things
it's a
too. Like
joke.
if it's like when we register, when we will register as a business. It's not yet. When we start making money, we will register as a business, because like it's one of those things where it's like we have not made enough to cash out, and that's the thing that the IRS will get you for. It doesn't matter how much money you make; it's how much money you actually cash out on.
What was I gonna say? So quick thing, I actually don't want to go. Well, like what was I gonna say? I actually really like online school. Like, weirdly enough,
Right? I don't want to go back, and that's kind of the fun, cool thing, because like we get to do this, we get to do our own
Yeah.
projects, and on weekend I get to play games, stay up late, sit in my own room, eat dinner.
Yeah, I could just quickly. I don't have to rush to class. I don't have to get fucking like.
You don't have to go down the fucking elevator.
I don't have to deal with a roommate. Shout out to my roommates before. I love you guys, but I'm just saying, like.
I thought you hated your first roommate or something. He's a weirdo.
No, I didn't hate my roommates. I just like how do I say this? I'm not very good sharing a room with people. Like just sleeping in the same room. Like sharing an apartment, that's fine. I could do that, no problem.
We should.
But
Do
I
that,
need my
though. We should try to get an apartment.
I need my personal space, like my own room, kind of thing, because I have a problem with like people, kind of like social, like.
You know, yeah. Here's the goal. Our goal is that if we can make enough money to live off this, we will
nice.
get our own apartment. We will get an apartment like somewhere in
Yes.
Stanford for cheap, and then we'll just keep continuously working until we can build enough money, and then we go from there.
Yeah,
That's
that'd
the
be
next
perfect.
step for us, at least.
That'd be great. And then yeah, I mean, like, it's just so much. It's so much more simplified online, and I really just find it fun to just kind of like, obviously you miss that person to person experience, but you still talk with people, you still like converse with them on the screen. You just lack that physical contact.
Yeah, it's just like I don't necessarily need that physical contact constantly.
I have digital waifus. What are you talking about? No.
I have other things to worry about. Like
I have two
I have
girlfriends.
PNGs. I have PNGs on my phone. That's all I need. What are you talking
No.
about?
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just for me. It's the amount of ease that you get from it, and I just find that a lot more better than school. But I still, I miss everyone that I visited there, obviously.
Yeah, me and my friends have like a Discord and stuff, so like we'll just like go in there and like talk shit about Professor sometimes. it's one of those things like it's very rare occasion we'll do that, but like sometimes it's like when we have a lot of work and we're high strung, but like we just want to bitch and complain about stuff, we'll just go there and hang out. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm tucked out from talking. It's been about an hour.
Okay.
So, on that note, thank you for listening for the brand new year of the podcast.
Woo! Congrats for making it this far, and thank you for listening.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye bye.